Welcome back to the Scorecard. Alex Eala's remarkable triumph at the Mubadala DC Open has done more than deliver the biggest title of her career. After defeating an Olympic champion, a defending tournament champion, a four-time Grand Slam champion, and the world number 3, the Filipina has established herself as one of the fastest rising stars on the WTA Tour. Joining us tonight to break down what this championship means for Eala, how the rest of the tennis world now views her, and what to expect as she continues her hard-court campaign is none other than Tennishead Editor Max Kilham. Max, welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you very much, Anton.
Max, Alex Eala has already proven that she can beat some of the biggest names in women's tennis. Now, after this breakthrough win of hers in Washington, what do you think has changed most in the way the rest of the tour now views her?
I think Alex has now proven that she can beat the very best on a consistent basis, that is. I'm not just speaking about Washington here, I'm talking about Wimbledon as well. I mean, prior to this summer, she was securing high-level victories over elite-level players, but it was more of a sporadic basis, really. But in the last month, we've seen her beat Iga Swiatek, Qinwen Zheng, Lina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and Jessica Pegula, and I think those victories speak for themselves, and she's really maintaining her level a lot better than she used to, rather than it coming in peaks and troughs.
Now, Max, how important is it for Alex Eala to build on this Washington success in a WTA 1000 event coming up like the National Bank Open, especially with the US Open also just around the corner?
It's extremely important. She only has, I believe, 10 points to defend at WTA Tour level events leading up to the US Open, meaning she has every opportunity to increase her ranking ahead of the US Open. She should be looking to secure a top 16 seed now. She's now risen to number 20 in the world. If she can do that at the US Open, it gives her a much better chance of advancing far. She won't face a top 16 seed until the fourth round, rather than the third round, where she would face them if she was ranked outside the top 16. There's only around, I say only, it's a significant margin, but it's not the worst margin in the world. There's only 500 points separating her from Iva Jovic in the 16th place. So that's certainly an achievable goal, and I think she can. I believe she faces Alicia Parks in the first round in her opening match in Canada. And if she can put together a strong tournament there and in Cincinnati, I think she can certainly push for that top 16 seed.
Max, looking at her current level of play, which part of Eala's game has improved the most this season? And what do you think is the next step for her to consistently challenge for the biggest titles in women's tennis?
I think from one standpoint, you could say her mental strength, and that is not to say that she wasn't mentally strong in years gone past. However, this year we've seen that she has dug in and pulled off impressive results on numerous occasions, with the victory over Jasmine Paolini in Dubai and the most recent victory over Jessica Pegula in Washington being the primary examples. From a technical standpoint, I think her return has improved massively. I think she's so eager to get on the front foot off the return, and it's paying off massively. I think we saw that on full display yesterday against Pegula. It was really aggressive returning, and it worked superbly, putting the American on the back foot, particularly in the third set. The stats don't really back up this point, unfortunately, so I'm admittedly kind of ignoring those, but I do think her return in general has improved massively. I think to take the next step, we're looking at maybe perhaps the serve again. I think the serve was good in Washington, and I think that we had this sort of slightly strange phenomenon where the slightly slower pace of Eala's second serve worked to her advantage, especially the sliding serve out wide on the advantage side. That seemed to cause her opponents a lot of issues. I think if she can continue to develop the second serve in particular, perhaps developing a kick serve that would work well on not only the hard courts but the clay, I think that could maybe take her game to the next level.
Max, I'm smiling right now because you mentioned Alex's returning, and the gentleman who does the interviews post-match, Brett Haber, did say that Alex Eala is slowly becoming one of the elite returners in tennis. Do you agree with that statement of Brett's?
Yes, I don't. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's wide of the mark. I think we've got a lot of elite returners on the women's tour. I think Goff's a very good returner. That's the first thing that stands out to me. And I think Sabalenka's superb, obviously. I think Ayala's, her return is fantastic. The key with the return is just the aggression from Ayala's perspective. It is just front foot tennis constantly off the return. Even on the first serve, when she's playing some of the biggest serves on the tour, we've seen it against Elena Rybakina. She's still chased after that first serve of Rybakina, who, by the way, has led the ace statistic on the WTA Tour for the past 2 years. So, yeah, I completely agree with the statement. I do think she is one of the elite returners right now.
Max Eala, in this road to her first WTA 500 title, she beat an Olympic champion, a defending tournament champion, former world number 3, a 4-time Grand Slam champion, and the world number 3, all in that tournament in Washington. Where does this rank among the greatest achievements by a Filipino athlete on the international stage for you, at least covering tennis?
When considering the records that have been broken with this victory, I mean, she's the first Filipina to win a WTA Tour title. She's the first Filipina to enter the top 20 now. I think it's definitely up there. I should preface it by saying I'm not from the Philippines, so I perhaps don't know quite as much about the sporting history as some of your viewers. But from my research, I would say she has is certainly up there, but she has a little bit of a way to go to catch the likes of Manny Pacquiao, Carlos Yulo, Hildelin Diaz, and perhaps Efren Reyes, and a few other athletes who have had the opportunity to complete their careers in full. Ayala's still in a very early moment in her career. I think within the tennis sphere, it's obviously a massive achievement for the Philippines. I mean, you're talking about the greatest Filipino tennis player of the Open era, even at such a young age. That's partly due to sort of the breadth of talent that has been available over the years, and Ayala's own talent herself. We recently saw Wimbledon reach the 4th round, the first player to do so, male or female, from the Philippines in around about 70 years. So yeah, she's up there, but I wouldn't say she's quite in the top echelon just yet.
Well, we're just happy, Max, that somebody like yourself who lives outside of the Philippines are knowledgeable about the greats that we have here. Like you mentioned, Manny Pacquiao, Carlos Yulo, Heidelin Diaz. Thank you so much, Max. And we'll talk to you again as Alex Eala continues to move along in her career. Thank you so much, Max.
My pleasure.